Memes. Let's go. So, parental advisory, explicit thoughts. Following disclaimer. The following memes, along with any ideas, opinions, or other third-party content, do not necessarily or directly reflect the opinions of Andology, the brand, or me personally. So without further ado, let's see what we got in store tonight for your memes. Now, I have to start with this, because this was sent in from a friend of the channel, Frank Lamantia. What an absolute effort. So, did Susan Wojcicki trick you into a cup of tea again, Andy? Blink twice if you need our assistance. Obviously, I disappeared off the internet for 12 months solid. No one heard anything from me. It wasn't just you. It was only everyone and anyone. So, yeah. I really appreciate his design and graphic efforts. This is from like a year ago, more than a year ago. On a onesie Wednesday I was doing where we used to wear onesies and stuff, and we might rock that back up again because it was very popular and everyone seemed to love it. So thank you to Frank for sending that in. It's classic. Great effort. So yeah, he thinks there's a political solution. Oh, this is great. Just to be clear, the founding fathers, just to be clear, none of this matters if there's a virus. Oh, brilliant. This is what people's passports are going to look like. Oh, man. Like it. Passed the bar. Failed the bar. Worked at a bar. Oh, I'm sorry, my darling. There's you. The science being led by politics. Follow the science. Oh, dear. This is good. Mice die in mouse traps because they do not understand why the cheese is free. The same thing happens with socialism. Dear oh dear. Fuck it, nobody's getting anything this year. How true is that? Eh? How true is that? Everybody's ears after they wear face masks for months. Or Fauci's on a normal day. Oh, point to your least favourite vegetable. Fucking hell. Sorry, some of these I haven't seen. I've just dumped them in there. Oh, amazing. Sorry. Sorry, Brandon. Oh, if you feel like this right now, you are normal. Give me a I feel like this if you feel like this in the chat right about now. And in the comments if you're watching this after it's live. Oh dear. One day, many will hang their heads in shame when they realise the evil they defended and the heroes they ridiculed. Does make you wonder, doesn't it? And if, you know, people looking back and stuff. You know, like in 20 years' time. Carbon dating. You look older than your profile picture. I've been under a lot of pressure. Like it. Yeah. Clown show. I've got next week's truth trivia quiz is going to have at least one NASA question in it. They're on the chopping block next. I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do with the truth of trivia in a subtle way, because again, we have to be careful, you see. So I'm doing the best I can with what we've got. We got lemons. This is your fucking lemonade, right? There are two types of people in this world. People who think the government is looking out for their best interests, and people who think, oh man. Ah. Leo saying, do you know anyone who wants to swap 600 toilet rolls for a gallon of petrol? Do you know, I've got a theory on that, Leo, right? Did I add the chat thing in here? I didn't. I was going to do that, wasn't I? So I could have show people's chat messages during the memes. But I had a theory that, you know, the toilet roll shortage, I thought, with all the toilet, when I looked at my bin in the office earlier today, it's like, it's a waste paper basket, you know, a foot and a half high or whatever, just completely filled up with toilet paper from blowing my nose, because I've obviously had a cold or whatever it is, a little bit of flu over the last week. So I thought maybe that was part of what the shortages were last year. Maybe it wasn't people needing it for the toilet. Maybe it was just people blowing their nose so much because of COVID. Oh dear, the most impressive thing about COVID is how it turned a systematically racist patriarchy into a trustworthy government who cannot be questioned. Oh wow, I like it. The 1980s, people wanted to know what the future would look like. In 2021, people want to go back to the 1980s, don't we just? The 1980s, for anyone who wasn't born young enough. Magic Hand and I were saying actually recently how the 1980s are definitely, and early 90s, I really enjoyed the early 90s. It was all vibrant colour, the songs had proper words, and it was really... I saw a thing recently actually that was an analytical study of music and how music back in the day in like 80s and 90s had about the average was like 4,300 and something words in the vocabulary of the tunes in the day, right? And now it's something like 1,800 words as a vocabulary in the tune. So it goes to show that it's like the music's almost not as intelligent as it was or as clever as it was back in the 80s and 90s, yeah? So got a lot of love for the 80s in the chat right about right about no. Oh, and look, we're back to the end, so that was the last one. Look at that. Lisa Knutson, she was a lover of the 90s, 80s as well, as was Christina G. Bliss, absolutely, wasn't it? Do you know what? Wouldn't it be great if we could play some 80s music right now? Because I would be. But we'd be shut down straight away. But do you know what? Thank you, Heather. I'm glad you love them.